You can also listen to us on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/The Clock Cleaners.
Hello and welcome to the Clock Cleaners podcast. I'm Matt.
And I'm Keith.
And today we're doing a Raw recap from August 9th. No, today's August 9th. Sorry.
August 7th.
We're gonna try this again.
No. We're going to keep going.
Okay, August 7th.
Yeah.
That was Monday.
Yeah. This was Raw.
Yeah.
It was... I felt like it was a long show.
Yeah.
Like it just it wasn't dragging, it just felt long.
Well, yeah, there was a lot less long segments and there was a lot more shorter.
Right.
So I guess that's kind of what happens. Normally they'll have long segments that kind of make it seem like it's going by quicker.
Yeah. I guess that's a fair statement.
I know that happens on SmackDown a lot because usually the opening segment will be 15 to 20 minutes long, and that's almost a quarter of the show.
Yeah, and this was a pretty quick opening segment.
Yeah, because that usually doesn't happen on Raw. Usually what happens is you start with the talking segment, then you lead into a match, and by the time that's done, it's 8:30.
But they're nothing like the old McMahon half-hour, Stephanie, I should say. Half-hour openers.
The Authority stuff? Yeah, it's very different. Because at least now people like kind of care about what's going on.
But yeah.
More or less.
It seems like... Usually, they have one segment and that's it.
What?
Like one person gets a segment and that's pretty much it.
Oh yeah.
Like a talking segment or something like that. But,
yeah, well, they try to get as many people on as possible.
True.
But yeah, the show opened with The Miz and The Miz Taraj in the ring.
Yep.
He's calling out Jason Jordan because he's upset about the fact that he got, I guess,
suckered last week.
Yeah, which is weird because The Miz provoked him.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why he was upset because he deserved it. He said he was tired of getting ambushed during his show.
Yes.
Even though, like we said, almost always it's his fault. So.
Well, he's got to run his mouth. That's his whole character.
It's true. I'm not saying that he's
in the wrong.
No, he is in the wrong because he's the one doing it. I'm just saying that he really should know better.
Fair enough.
But yeah, he calls out Jason Jordan, and then Kurt Angle comes out and says that his son
won't be
joining.
On the show tonight.
Yeah.
He will be, however, in a match with Miz Taraj member Curtis Axel later on tonight.
Very exciting stuff.
It's like, but I do, however, have a special guest that is up to, what do you say, the Miz Show caliber or something like that? He said something.
Yeah, I think he said this, I guess, important guest.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just as an important guest.
Fair enough.
I'm not sure exactly the words he used.
Then Brock Lesnar comes out with Paul Heyman.
That was a surprise.
Yeah, I didn't expect this.
Yeah, especially considering that Brock's been on TV like every week for the last few weeks.
Well, we'll get through the segment, and then, then I'll go on about stuff.
Sure.
That's usually what I'm good at.
Yeah. Well, it helps to have all the information there.
It's true. So, yeah, I guess Heyman went to start talking, and then Miz just cut him off, basically.
Yeah, he did his when my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut thing, which is pretty funny. And Heyman's expression was great. He's like,
whatever.
Yeah, but at first he was a little dumbstruck, and then he just threw the mic down. The Miz went on about how he's put his money on...
He went through every participant.
Yeah. He said he's got his money on Reigns. He's got his money on Strowman. He's got his money on Joe. Anybody except for Lesnar. Yeah. And he says that Lesnar's definitely going to lose the title at SummerSlam.
Yeah, because the cards are stacked against him.
Yeah, and he said that as to Heyman's, I guess, threat of them leaving, he said, I can't wait till you're gone. Yep. I think he said good riddance to bad rubbish.
Yeah.
I believe that's what he said.
And then Heyman grabs the mic and starts talking about or asking The Miz if him and Maurice like to role play.
Yes.
Which is a little odd, but whatever.
A little bit, but he did get to a point.
Yeah. So he wanted to role play, and then he said that each member of the Miz Taraj was one of the opponents for Lesnar in the Fatal 4-Way at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And then basically he unleashed the beast, and he attacked each one of them.
Yeah. All three of them, I believe, got F5s.
Yeah. And that was belly to backs, yeah.
Well, yeah. But the ending of it was all three of them getting hit with F5s.
I always cringe when they do spots like this and there's things in the ring, like all the chairs and stuff like that. I know they're not close, but
there's always a possibility as he's coming down to get smacked in the face with the chair or whatever.
Yes. Well, we did see a smack in the face with a chair.
That was later on.
That would be later on. So, Yeah, this was it for Lesnar.
Well, yeah.
Does his quick thing and then leaves. But I think him coming out during the main event would have been more of a showing because they,
Well, how often are you going to do the same thing over and over again? You know what I mean?
No, I know.
I think it'd be more. I think the way they did it was better because we'll get to that later, obviously. Because Lesnar doesn't really need to be involved so much. He's more of a daunting presence.
Right, but is he really? He's not really portrayed that way because he's never on TV.
He's meant to be.
I know, but I mean, I guess I wish I was a casual fan in this where I could get enjoyment out of segments like this.
Yeah, well, because it's just meant to pop for Lesnar.
Right.
So he's not really doing anything. So, like I said, I got no problem with how they did it because I understand why they did it. And I think that the way they went about the main event in the long run would be better in terms of storytelling.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So, I can't really make a complaint. Is that what you were going to say before?
No, I just felt like, he could have intervened there rather than here.
I think if he did that, that shows that he's scared. They don't want to do
I just
that.
figured he'd show his dominance.
Yeah, but attacking that's never really been Lesnar's thing.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's get in your face and beat you up as opposed to sneak attack like Joe.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I said, I think what they're doing is just fine. He's showing his dominance over people who really aren't doing anything right now anyway. Because since Dean's with Seth and Sheamus and Cesaro, technically the Miz has got nothing really going on.
Yeah, that's true.
Except for Jason Jordan, but they wanted to...
Yeah, I guess they didn't want that on SummerSlam.
What?
That match.
Oh, Jason Jordan versus...
the Miz.
Well,
I guess
certainly
it was
not
too soon.
Yeah, certainly not a good time for that.
Which we will get to Jason Jordan later on. Up next, we had a rematch from last week.
Yes,
with,
which was weird.
Seth Rollins versus Sheamus, which you're going to get a good match.
It's true. It was good. But it was literally the same exact thing as the week before, except for the ending swapped.
Right. Yeah.
Seth went up for a move on the top rope.
Well, Cesaro was on the apron at this point.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. And that's when Seth was on top rope, he went to knock off Cesaro.
Yep.
He jumped out of the way, which distracted Seth, and then Sheamus did the roll up, and that was it.
Yeah.
I know this is a kind of weird thing to bring up, but we still haven't seen Seth's finisher. It's weird. It's really, really weird. Because he has not won a match where he scored the pinfall that wasn't from that roll-up.
It's true. I guess this is an homage to the V-trigger of Kenny Omega and the Rainmaker of Okada, since it's his...
guess?
I like the name Ripcord. It was I think that's what you said that was originally what they were calling it, I think at one point. No, you did say it.
I did?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh, that's actually a cool name for a move. Which makes sense.
Doesn't sound like something they would do.
No, fair enough.
But like it's just odd because I was thinking about it during the match. I'm like, he won last week with the roll up. I don't think he's gonna win this one. Is he ever gonna hit a new finisher?
Because he hit it once on what? Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah, and that was it.
Yeah,
because he did it during the house show, or not the house show, but the dark match that we saw.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's done it at house shows.
Yeah.
But they haven't shown it on TV.
I don't know.
So.
Yeah, it's a funny thing to get out.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah, it is strange.
Yeah.
Because in the future, the past, the pedigree and the curb stomp was so prominent,
They're the big thing, and now he's got really nothing.
But yeah, so after the match, Rollins attempted to attack them.
Yeah,
and
I don't know why he did that.
He was unsuccessful, and during this, they brought him outside the ring, right? They were throwing him into the guardrail.
Yeah,
and they kept looking back toward the entranceway, waiting for
Dean. Yeah,
even though Dean's theme music would have popped, and
true.
They would have known, and by the crowd reaction too.
Well, it's true because usually the crowd knows before they get to him. But anyway, Seth got the crap kicked out of him. That's about it.
Yeah. So
and then they continued to be the bar, meaning Sheamus and Cesaro.
Yeah. And then I think this is the first time the crowd has really gotten on Sheamus's case in a while.
Yeah,
Because I heard the "you look stupid" chants a lot.
I think this is an isolated incident because that Toronto crowd was shit. They were so bad.
Yeah.
They were like just for no reason. Like the Bailey thing. They kept, and even on SmackDown they were booing the faces. You heard during the main event.
Oh yeah.
That's the only time you're ever going to hear people cheer from Jinder Mahal over Randy Orton.
Yeah. Which is a nice thing to see.
Yes, but not for the right reason.
No, but
because this is fans being.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty big thing when they go to Canada, you know.
Yeah, and this is the same crowd that did the stupid 10 chant.
Oh yeah.
So obviously they're horrible, horrible fans. That actually bothers me.
Matt hates the Canadian crowd.
That's fine. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. But they ruined the show.
Was the guy on Raw that was wearing the Roman Sucks shirt the same guy on SmackDown
Probably.
wearing the Cena Sucks shirt?
Probably.
Yeah.
But they're just terrible, terrible fans. Like, they obviously aren't watching it for the same reason that everybody else does. They watch it to be to be counterintuitive as opposed to watching to enjoy it.
To be fair,
they're allowed to watch whatever they want.
No, I wasn't going to get to that.
Oh.
Regardless of where you are, you're going to get those fans anyway.
Yes, but
and it takes away from the experience.
Yes, they're much more vocal in Canada, apparently, in the
So-
Toronto area specifically.
So speaking of jerks, backstage Seth was walking past Dean and was like, "Thanks for helping me out there, buddy."
Well, first Dean was mad because Seth made him look like a jerk.
Yeah.
And and then Seth's like, "You are a jerk."
Yeah. It's like, what do I have to do to make things right?
He said nothing. I'm just gonna be on my own, like I've always been.
That's it.
And that was it.
Yep. He's the lone wolf. Oh wait, no, that's Baron Corbin.
Yes, but yeah,
he's the loner. Oh wait, no, that's the Drifter.
Dean said that he has a match with Cesaro, and he will be handling it on his own.
Yeah. And Elias faced Kalisto on main event this week.
I was gonna say I don't remember seeing either of those guys.
No.
So that's good. Keep him off the Raw.
So
Put the time more useful.
right before this, you see Curtis Axel getting examined by a trainer.
Yeah.
And then Kurt's like, "I need an opponent for."
Well, first, while Axel's laying on a stretcher, he asks the guy if he's able to compete.
Right, yeah. I can't clear him. He's like, "I need an opponent." And then apparently a cross hybrid between Roman Reigns and Rusev was standing there.
This guy looked familiar, though.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it looks like someone I've seen. I feel like I've seen him on NXT.
Oh, it's possible.
But at the same time, I'm guessing it's a local guy because, they assumed he was French-Canadian.
No, we'll get to that. And with the Star of David, I believe, on the back of his
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't
singlet.
notice that.
Yeah, so he goes out to face Jason Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, as had alluded to earlier with the fantastic crowd, they started the huge "Let's Go Jobber" chant.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Jordan is not getting. He got no reaction when he went out there.
No one cares.
Nothing.
This music sucks.
So basically, what conclusion I've come to is that whoever the WWE wants to push,
they just
and to make it obvious,
shut it down.
Yes, the crowd has no interest in it.
It's true.
That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm. Whatever.
So yeah, Jason Jordan basically beat the crap out of this guy very quickly.
Yeah, it was not a long match. It was, he did his one-person grand amplitude, and that was it.
Yeah, he does the neck breaker thing.
That's
right?
what it is,
yeah,
though.
Yeah.
Because he just does Chad Gable's part.
Yeah.
Or I don't remember who does what. Maybe he's the one who lifts them, and Gable does the neck breaker.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. So after that was probably the most difficult section to watch last night, I'd say.
It's heartbreaking.
It's true because there's no reason for it.
No, this was Bailey came out right before the first of the two triple threat matches to determine the number one contender for SummerSlam.
Yes.
Bailey came out and she was basically, who's that? Charlie that talked to her, right?
I guess so.
Yeah, about the injury and everything that happened, and they went through the typical motions of I'll be back and things like that.
Yeah.
And the crowd was not having it. When
Yeah.
she said that she was, wanted to thank all the people that reached out to her on Twitter and social media, the fans were booing her.
Yeah, like really bad.
And yeah, I mean, Bailey, like, she repeated herself a couple times.
Yeah,
she was like,
she was
"Maybe they
getting
didn't
annoyed.
understand what I said," and then it was like, wow.
Yeah, she was getting annoyed. But
And
we kind of talked about this. It's not very often that faces have to deal with the heat. So it's like you're obviously not expecting, especially considering that Bailey's kind of sympathetic here. Like with Alexa, she handles it better because she's supposed to draw that response.
Yeah.
So she kind of knows going in that she might get it.
I think if they do a superstar shakeup, Bailey needs to be traded to SmackDown for maybe Becky or someone else.
But just like try to get another face on Raw.
Yeah, just a swap, because I think Bailey would do better on SmackDown. She has a lot of weaker heels, where she would be the...
Oh, yeah,
main
that's
face.
true. But at the same time, technically, Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax aren't really that strong of heels.
No, but they're built... Alexa's been built up very strong.
Yes, but I'm just saying in terms of, like... Because she's, like, hides
she's-
behind Jax, who
Right.
isn't really that...
No, but the crowd's starting to come around to
Oh,
Nia.
yeah, they
and-
really like
yeah,
those two now.
And Alexa's got a huge following, so...
But I'm just saying that neither of them were up to Charlotte as a heels standing. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Neither of them were quite there.
Yep.
Or neither of them are quite there. But yeah, this was very upsetting to see because
Yeah.
Bailey generally gets a pretty good reaction.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
What?
they're doing what WWE always does. They're just trying to push it.
I guess.
Like in NXT, they kind of just let it happen.
Mhm.
They didn't,
They're
go
trying to
on about
force
things.
things.
Everything's forced. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's weird.
But like I said, had this been a regular segment where it was like
There was no need for it.
yeah, because if it was like
They could have just put her on commentary or something simple like that.
yeah. But what I was gonna say is if this was like a work injury and something like this happened, it'd be one thing. But since obviously it's legit, like you like that's just wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, she when she was done getting pissed off at the crowd, she introduced Sasha, who was the first contested in the first triple threat
Yeah.
match.
So the first match was Sasha versus Alicia Fox versus Emma.
Yes,
This was a good match.
it was. Definitely obviously was the strongest wrestlers of the six.
Well, I think, and I believe I've spoken about this before, that Alicia Fox is definitely underutilized and undervalued.
It's true.
She's quick in the ring, and she seems to move well.
Mm-hmm. Like, we've talked about this before, where her value as a wrestler was always downgraded because when she was around originally, they didn't really care about it.
Yeah.
So she learned a lot in her time,
Mm-hmm.
but it was never really appreciated until now. But now we have all these new people
Right.
who overshadow her because she's an
Mm-hmm.
older person. So it's like Natalia,
Yeah.
because it was the same thing. Good
Yeah.
worker.
Yep. During
But-
bad time.
Yeah. And she was overshadowed because she wasn't a Bella.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's basically what it is. So,
Yeah. No, that's fair. statement.
because Nikki stood the test of time,
Mhm.
so to speak, but that was only because she was the most over woman or diva in the division.
Right.
So,
Yeah. A lot of Emma chants in this match.
Emma did really well.
Yeah,
in this
she
match.
looked good.
Honestly, there was a few points in time where it looked like she was going to win.
Yeah.
And had they put her up against, well, I should say, if
Say
she,
Dana and Alicia or something like that.
well, she definitely would have
Yeah,
won.
yeah,
If Sasha wasn't in her match, there
Right.
was no way she would
I
lose.
mean, we all knew what the outcome was.
Yeah, it was
going
going
to
be Sasha and Nia, which is kind of getting a little Sasha and Charlotte-y,
A little bit.
because it's the same exact match that happens constantly, which is good for Nia Jax because she's always involved.
Yeah.
She's probably wrestled more than anybody else.
That's probably.
She's probably
yeah.
had the most matches
Yeah,
out of
that's
all the
true.
women on Raw. Because it's not Alexa,
Mhm.
and basically she just swaps between Sasha and Bailey.
Right. Yeah.
So
No, that's true.
she's getting a lot of screen time. She's getting
Yeah.
a better fan reaction, so it's good for her.
But yeah, this match ended with Emma tapping out to the bank statement.
Yeah. There was a few points in time where it really looked like Emma was going to win, though.
Yeah.
She, I don't remember what it was, but she got a few close pinfalls on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And then she...
But I mean, this is This is everything everybody's been complaining about.
But that they're not pushing.
They're not utilizing the other women. Yeah, absolutely.
And
that's not saying that they're wrong for using the women they're using, but there's just more. You got.
It's true. They
got a lot of toys in the bucket.
Mm-hmm. Well, this speaks to a lot of the time constraints,
right?
Because
to be fair, we got 2 women's matches.
It's true. It's almost as if they. Well, it really doesn't matter on Raw, but SmackDown did the same thing.
Yeah, it's true.
So, but yeah, Bliss was on commentary saying that she doesn't care who wins, blah blah blah. She's gonna beat anybody. But she's very good on commentary.
Yeah. Oh,
she's very smooth. She knows how to kind of I guess tease the commentators.
Mm-hmm. Well, Corey loves her.
Yeah.
So.
Well, not. I was talking more of Booker when he says something or Michael Cole.
Wow.
Where they kind of make fun of them more than
usual.
I guess lead them on.
Yeah. No, I gotcha.
So that was entertaining. Mm-hmm. And like I said, Sasha won, obviously.
Yeah. So moving on, we had a backstage interview with Braun Strowman, who looked to be possessed because he was just staring the entire time.
Yeah.
Staring through a wall.
He was in the zone.
Yeah. But yeah, he was going on about how he likes to hurt Roman.
He does.
And that he's a puppy. In this his yard is his playground, right? Something like that.
Yes, I believe that's what he said. Meaning that Roman's a puppy, by the way.
Yeah.
Not Braun. Braun is most certainly not a puppy.
I'm not like most men. Good stuff.
Yeah. All right. So up next we have Enzo and the Big Show coming out to trash talk Big Cass.
So, you think Enzo's days are limited? It doesn't make sense. All the negative press that he's been getting online, obviously.
That he's been getting the crap kicked out of him.
But he's always on TV.
It's true.
It's weird. Unless they're just keeping the angle going, and then once it's done...
Yeah, but he's so over that it doesn't... Money in the WWE speaks louder than anything else.
No, it's true.
Because everyone complained about John Cena.
Yeah.
But they still bought his merchandise.
Yeah, but I don't think they had
he never had
real
heat.
Legitimate. Yeah,
but the fans didn't want him.
Yeah,
and the fans didn't want him, but they were still buying. The merchandise.
But
so
the
really
fans do want Enzo.
No, but I'm just saying it's never really. It doesn't matter as long as.
Fair enough.
That's all that really matters.
No, that's true.
So and there's been other
if he's locker room cancer,
There's been other cases where people have people who are over the crowd had heat. And they still got the push.
Yeah.
I'm sure Lesnar hasn't really rubbed everybody the right way throughout his time.
No, yeah.
Randy Orton, I know, has had a lot of problems backstage.
I think that was in his younger years, though.
But still.
Yeah. I gotcha.
But I'm sure there's tons of examples of people who are over on TV,
right? Who
backstage weren't.
Yeah, but it just seems like there's so many incidents. That's all I'm saying.
I think the problem is that they're just coming to light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a chance that there's a ton of people who have little things that add up that just get shoved underneath the rug because they're who they are.
Fair enough.
So, because I wouldn't be surprised. What is a good example of someone who's young and over? Because I can't say Roman, because Roman really doesn't strike me as the...
No, he's the locker room leader.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what JBL said on.
Yeah.
Corey even said, too.
Mm-hmm. So, but someone not Seth, but like Seth? I wouldn't be surprised if, Bray got into a lot of crap. Besides the JoJo thing, obviously. Yeah. but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's a big name that the fans like.
Look,
but he's a big enough name that they kind of just let the thing slide.
Yeah, I guess.
So,
I don't know. I guess I don't think they would be making as much of a big deal of it though, if it really didn't matter. I mean, to bring it to the table stuff, they just verbally talked about.
Well,
it. Maybe Enzo is so unaware of his behavior that
I was going to say this might be more of trying to get the fans to see what's going on than them trying to embarrass him.
Right.
Because if you subtly bring things to light, then the fans start to know what they're really looking at, and then maybe they'll stop being behind him.
Yeah.
That might be what they're going for.
It's possible.
So, or it's just get your shit together and that's it.
Move on.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so after they finished trash talking Cass, the club came out.
Did we say Enzo? Yeah, you said that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we were just going on.
Yeah. So the club come out and they challenge Big Show and Enzo to a match because
They're a couple of nerds.
Well, yeah, I love that. Gallows is awesome. Well, the two of them are very good together, but Gallows is really funny.
Mm-hmm.
So in retort, Enzo calls the two of them.
First he calls Gallows Dr. Evil. If he put his
No. He built to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He said that if you put your finger like this,
right,
you'll be Dr. Evil and Mini Me.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good.
Yep.
But he built to it actually for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And then he obviously did the punchline. So this starts the match. Big Cass comes out randomly.
Yeah, halfway toward the end of the match.
Yeah. Big Show sees him, and then he turns around and watches him walk from the ramp to the ring.
Mm.
And at this point, since Big Show's distracted, Gallows hits him with a boot and knocks Big Show out of the match. This lets
That's
Enzo,
when he got hung up on the top rope.
Yeah. This allows them to double team Enzo and put him away, and they end up winning the match.
They originally went for the Boot of Doom?
No, I think they went for the Magic
Killer, and then Enzo
He actually
it.
fought out of it, and then they eventually ended up hitting him.
Yeah,
I think with
kicked him in the head or something. No, I think it was something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
small.
it wasn't. Yeah. But they took out Enzo, and at this point, Cass then comes down, hits Show with the boot, and beats up. Oh yeah, after the match, yeah.
Yeah, then Cass chased Enzo around the ring, right? And then I guess the Big Show was down but not out.
Well, he was probably standing next to the ring, but the camera made it so that we couldn't see him.
There you go.
And it was funny because Cass he's got the blinders. It's like I can only see what's in front of me or what I know is on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets socked with the KO punch from Big Show, and he gets knocked out, and that's pretty much how the segment ended.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah. Up next we had Finn Balor coming out to the ring and calling out Bray Wyatt.
Yep.
Balor's such a stud. I don't even know why they bother with the demon thing.
I think it was so over that the fans want it.
Yeah.
So it might not be necessary, but it's kind of like a fan service thing.
I don't know. He's fantastic. I
true.
got nothing really bad to say about Finn. Just even by his look, he just kind of oozes cool.
The fact that Rollins tried to kill him last year at SummerSlam was probably the most detrimental thing, because he would probably have had a very long reign as Universal Champion had that not happened.
Yep.
So, but you know, it is what it is. But he's fantastic.
Yeah.
He so when he called out Bray's thing hit, and then Bray appears, and he looks confused because Balor, I guess,
now on the turnbuckle.
Yeah, he teleported as well. So obviously, what's going to happen is it's going to be Bray versus the Demon at SummerSlam. There's no.
Maybe Bray will kill the Demon.
Maybe. No, I doubt it. But
win a match.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not saying that he would win, but maybe he did something to upset it.
I've taken the Demon, man.
Yeah, something like that.
Got your powers.
So yeah. But yeah, he obviously has the upper hand because he caught Bray off guard. He starts beating up Bray, and then he does the woogity woogity thing again.
Yeah, I think he hit the sling blade, right? And then it went black.
Yeah.
And
that's when Bray went on the screen. He
AKA he rolled under the ring and they played a taped segment.
Well, obviously. And he says that Balor will not get the best of him.
Yep.
And that was it.
Yep.
All right. So up next, Cesaro
probably
versus
the match
Dean.
of the night.
In terms of quality?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. There was really no competition. Because Cesaro is really good. And Dean, when he has the right opponent, is really good.
You know, I don't know. Dean's just a weird guy.
I know, because
it's so much fun to watch his matches because they're so unconventional.
And if you have an opponent that can work like a goofy style as well and kind of like play, because he's not as He's not as rigid
Yeah.
as some other wrestlers might be, like Sheamus would be.
Christine decided we should make a drinking game out of a Dean Ambrose match.
How many times he...
Every time he brushes his hair forward, every time the tongue's out, every time he's going like this to build...
He's hulking up.
Yep, he's hulking up. His elbow through the rope,
There's all his little quirks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be bad for your health.
Very bad.
So...
But yeah, this match went about 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was long. I was
Yeah.
surprised. This capped off the 10 o'clock hour, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yeah.
But yeah, there was...
But Dean ended up getting the best of Cesaro and got him with a roll-up, right?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know why they keep on doing this. It's weird.
Um,
Oh, I had a thought. I'm like, it's funny because this is probably the worst writing I've seen in a feud with such high caliber
You
names.
don't really need to write anything.
I know,
though.
that's why that was the
Yeah.
point I was getting at.
Okay,
though.
yeah.
It's garbage writing, but it works because of who's doing it. Because this is the
You
least
mean the whole conflict between Seth and Dean? Or?
that the way that they're booking the matches, there's really no effort going into this, but they're literally going, okay, we have a really over heel tag team in Sheamus and Cesaro, and we have Dean Ambrose and Seth, two of the biggest names in the company right now. It's like, we really don't need to do anything.
You don't.
We just need a conflict between those two and a common enemy.
Right.
That'll sort itself out. That's basically what they're doing.
Right.
And it's fine because it's working. But I was just thinking, I'm like, this is such lazy writing that they're booking every single match to end the same exact way. There's no real like tweaking to it.
Right.
It was okay. Dean's not going to help Seth, but Seth will help Dean. That was the only difference.
Yeah. Well, the whole reason was,
it was the trust thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, after the match, Sheamus and Cesaro attack Dean.
Seth
and then
comes out
immediately comes out.
Yep.
And after they fend them off, because this is the first time that Sheamus and Cesaro didn't end up on top at the end. Dean finally, I guess, trusts Seth.
Well, no.
Yeah, Dean was the one who put out his fist.
Yeah, but last week, didn't Rollins put out his fist?
Yes, and Dean walked away.
Right, but they were on top. You said Sheamus is first
Oh,
time Sheamus and
okay,
Cesaro.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
No,
that it
then
mattered,
when-
but... Or was that with the Miz Taraj?
That was 2 weeks ago, I
that-
think.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I remember that they got beaten down last week because they
Okay.
showed it at the beginning of
All
the
right.
show.
Fair enough.
So that was probably against the Miz. But yeah, they were on top. Dean puts out a fist for a pound or whatever.
Yeah. Shield...
Who cares?
Yeah.
It's a bro fist.
Yeah, there you go.
And then Seth thinks about it, shakes a little bit, and he walks out of the ring.
That's it.
So there's hasn't been a match announced for SummerSlam yet.
That's what I was going to get to.
Which
Which I guess we're going to get it this week.
Yeah.
If they've built up to something, why would you not have a match?
The only reason why you wouldn't do it is there's two. Either you feel like you have too many matches to begin with.
Well, no, now that they've scrapped...
Hardy's and
Well, no, it's going to be the
Revival?
Hardys in the club on the pre-show. That's what I've heard. I don't know.
I was going
if
to
it
say,
was
I don't
confirmed,
remember that being announced.
But yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
And I guess Dawson, whichever one isn't
Yeah,
hurt.
Dawson was hurt.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it'll be Dash.
Yeah.
He'll come out and attack the Hardys.
Nah, I don't think so.
Well, they got to do something.
No, I don't think so. Dawson, I don't know the severity
Well, I guess it
yet.
depends on how long he's going to be out. Because
They
you
said if he needed surgery, it could be out 6 to 8 months.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Who
a
knows?
kick in the balls, man.
It sucks because they kind of
They were gaining so much traction.
well that and they had all of their money on that match being a thing.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, because they were definitely doing a good job building it.
yeah. So whatever. So if this doesn't happen, it's them just trying to fill the tag team feud or tag team spot for the few weeks before SummerSlam and then restarting after SummerSlam with the new opponent.
Yeah.
Which could very well be the Hardys again.
Yeah, who knows how they're going to do this year.
Because the Hardys haven't been on TV in a couple weeks.
No. But,
So-
I mean, what you could do is have, say, Dean and Seth win the title.
I was going to say I want them to win.
And then go a month or two with them dominating, and then all of a sudden have a heel turn.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
fine.
Have a lesser tag team beat them. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's, it
I got no
makes
problem
sense.
with that. I
So-
think that Dean and Seth, once they get on the same page, will be great.
Oh yeah.
And that leads to a possible storyline, them teaming up with Roman at Survivor Series. have a Shield team,
Yeah.
like have a traditional Survivor Series match that doesn't take place between the two brands. Because while that was interesting last year, I think this year it might not be
The same.
the best
Well,
idea.
because you have people flipping teams, so
Yeah.
it's kind of
Whereas you could do it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really need to, because I guess you could very easily have a Raw and just add Balor and
You got a lot of new faces too. Then so.
who would be the fifth? Balor, and let's say for argument's sake something happens with Matt and you put Jeff on the team.
Yeah.
So it'll be those 5 against like.
All right, we're getting way.
Yeah, I know.
All right,
But
how about you move on because
yeah.
I missed this next segment.
All right. Oh, so basically, showed the Titus brand on in the locker room. Neville comes in, kind of threatens Tozawa, and says that he was lucky to beat Daivari last week, and he might not be so lucky this time.
Yeah.
And that led to the Daivari versus Tozawa match.
Yeah, I did see because I looked for this when I read your notes, and I was like, why can't I find this? And I went on YouTube, and they had a WWE.com exclusive one with Apollo, Titus, and Tozawa, and they were having a press conference, and Mike Rome was the only one to show up, and then
Nice.
Dana Brooke came in. It was good. I'll have to show you. It was pretty funny.
Doing good stuff with this Titus brand
Yes.
stuff. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's funny how.
But you need stuff like this in the mid card.
It's true because it fills time and it's like stuff that
And
people
you're
can enjoy.
intertwining the brand, you know.
Because it's so funny because Titus, before he started this Titus Worldwide thing, everybody hated.
Oh my god,
His gimmick has not changed.
What do you think happens when Darren Young comes back? He's cleared soon.
Nothing.
Nothing.
He's just gonna. He'll probably get released soon.
Once Jason Jordan flounders, they'll put him in a tag team with him.
Maybe, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets released because
Yeah.
they really haven't done anything. Before he got hurt, they weren't doing anything with him.
Well, they were
so.
doing that whole thing with Bob Backlund.
But that was way before he got hurt.
No, that was right before he got hurt.
He got hurt during a house show.
Did he?
He was not on TV for a while.
Fair enough.
That he had his little feud with Titus,
Right.
and then they
was it.
stopped.
All right. Fair
Yeah.
enough. So up next we had the Daivari and Tozawa match.
Yes.
So basically, if you want to be on Raw, just have a decent match on 205 Live the week before.
I guess so.
Because I think we saw this on 205 last week.
Yeah, this was a
Number one
rematch.
contender, yeah.
It was a rematch, yeah.
Which,
Tozawa won again with the flying senton again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a good match. Daivari is proving to be better than I guess you saw previously. Because for the most part, he was pretty much just used as a weak heel.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing Neville come out or anything, so that was weird. I don't know why they did what they did, but maybe something happens on 205 Live.
Fair enough.
But-
Next, we had a backstage interview with Roman, and he's asked if he saw what happened on Miz TV.
I don't
He's
watch
like,
Miz
"I don't
TV.
watch that crap. He doesn't care if Lesnar stays or goes. And he says he's going to win tonight and at SummerSlam.
He's very confident. Maybe
Yes.
Vince told him about how they're booking it already. He's got the
Roman.
insider tips.
Roman. No, I heard that we're only going to tell Lesnar.
Yeah, I thought I saw something about them keeping it very tight under wraps, which makes sense. You really don't need to.
No.
Besides who's involved, you don't really need to. I don't know.
Yeah.
Indulge other people.
Fair enough.
I'm still very, very against the whole like rumors and stuff. Like it's neat, but I'd rather hear things after the fact,
Right.
as opposed to beforehand, because that kind of ruins it. And
I
like
just don't know what the hell they're going to do after this match.
for the world, for the Universal title,
Everybody has feuded with each other besides Strowman and Lesnar.
it's true. So it could be Strowman and Lesnar, or it'll become someone brand new, like Joe can feud with Balor.
Yeah.
Because I think at this point enough time has passed that people won't.
That's true. I remember.
So there's really unlimited potential.
Yeah, but
Anything can happen.
fair enough.
So, but I'm not too worried about the future of the Universal title. I'd like to see Lesnar drop it and disappear,
Yeah.
but I don't think that's going to happen. It's probably just going to be Lesnar against somebody.
So up next we had Mickie James versus Dana Brooke versus Nia Jax. Another decent match.
The crowd is definitely behind Nia.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. But Dana Brooke looked good in this match.
Yeah.
She's definitely improved from
She's
where
getting
she
better.
was. So that's props to her.
And Mickey's good.
Yeah.
Granted, the two of them didn't do a whole lot.
No, it was
But-
mainly them getting offense on each other and then Nia coming in and
Beating them
Yeah.
up. So, Nia Jax pinned
Dana. right?
Brooke after a leg drop.
Mhm.
And after the match, she's looking up at the commentating booth because Bliss was there again, and she goes, "Oh wow, she looks pretty serious down there." And Nia's going like this with like the title belt, and she's like, "Yeah, we'll talk about that later." And she was like legitimately acting scared, and it was like she was concerned about what Nia Jax was doing.
Mhm.
So it was funny.
Yep. Yeah, up next we had a Goldust promo again. Well,
Which was
not again.
weird.
This was random. This was thrown in there.
Weird.
So I guess he's going to unveil his new masterpiece at SummerSlam.
I don't know what that means. Is he gonna fight? Or he's obviously not gonna have a match. But he said he's gonna be recruiting.
Yeah.
So does that mean that he's gonna find his next opponent? Does
Maybe
that
he'll
mean?
have a group rivaling the Miztourage.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
The Golden Guys.
Maybe he'll team up with Samson.
Yeah. That would be funny. That would be hilarious. I like that idea.
You're welcome. All right. So up next we have a backstage segment with Big Cass being interviewed. Oh no! It wasn't. He wasn't being interviewed. He
No,
went
it
up
was
to Angle,
Angle. Yeah.
and he said that he wants
want
Big
Big
Show
Show.
at the at SummerSlam, and they decided that
He's
they're
like,
gonna
I
have.
don't want Enzo in the arena. I don't want him in Brooklyn. I don't want him in New York.
Yeah.
He's like, well, how about we put him in a cage?
So
Yeah.
they're doing the shark cage thing again, like they did with Jericho, and
Gotta sell those toys, man.
which is weird because it's not like they promoted them.
I think it was promoted just during the original Shark
Yeah,
Cage.
that's what I mean. Though I don't think they.
That was what, TM61 versus the Authors of Pain?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed TM61.
Well, yeah.
Well, they're back soon.
Anyway, so they're doing that gimmicky match, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Kind
It's
of.
fine, yeah.
So, all right. So up next is our main event: Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman in a last man standing match.
So, obviously, this has been going on for a long time, this feud. And it's been very good. I can't say
It's
a bad,
true.
bad thing about it.
They're very good for each other.
But, I mean, are you able to revitalize this in the future?
You mean like years from now?
I mean, not years, but I mean, like, say next year or something like that.
I don't. Well, I think that what they'll do is they'll separate them for a while.
Yeah.
Like a long
Because
while.
I think this is like almost like a comfortable spot for the company using these two against each other.
It's true. They have done it a lot.
So I don't.
I think what's best for business is to keep them away from each other for a while. Even putting them on different brands would help. Because
I just don't want it to turn into like an Orton Cena thing.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like, because they didn't. They feuded a lot, but it was over a long period of time.
Right.
So, and they gave them gaps,
Mhm.
whereas you weren't seeing Cena and Orton every.
No, but
Because
come
the-
up to it, it's like, oh, this again.
Because at the same time, there's been a lot of periods of time where there was two people for like a stretch of time were together.
Mm-hmm.
The Undertaker and Edge feuded a lot for a
Yeah.
couple of years.
I do remember
There was a long stretch of time where that was the
feud.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Jeff Hardy and CM Punk feuded for a long stretch of time.
Mm-hmm.
Cena has had a few with JBL, his first run.
But you're dealing with a different animal here. It's Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but he's the same as Cena. They want him to be.
It's a fair assessment.
So I think that
I would definitely be looking forward to that match.
yeah. In the Cena against Roman.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mainly just because the crowd's gonna have a mental meltdown.
That's true. Who do we
hate
boo?
more?
Who do we boo?
Let's go, no one.
Yeah.
These guys suck.
Yeah, you can't wrestle
Yeah.
the entire time. Anyway,
So, yeah, like I said, this is a good match.
it's true.
And
My favorite spot was when he threw the rolling chair.
Oh my god, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
But imagine if they didn't throw that just right.
Oh yeah, he'd probably die.
Take one of the wheels to the face.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah, Braun took a rolling chair and threw it, and the padding of the chair, like the seat, hit Roman
was
right
able
in the
to
face.
well, he
didn't hit him in the face, but he hit him towards his face. He was able to.
Such a good spot.
Yeah, the timing was impeccable.
It was perfect. Yeah.
So,
but these guys, know each other, and
they're
that's
professionals.
well, yeah, but
they're comfortable.
yeah.
So they feel like they can get away, or not get away with stuff, but they know what they can do.
So yeah, they basically battled outside the ring. Then they went up to the announcer's table, took the stuff off the announce table, and then didn't do anything with it.
Then they went back down to the ring.
Yeah. At this point,
Well,
Roman speared.
Yeah, because Strowman had knocked down Reigns, and he thought that he had him down. So he walked back to the ring. Roman sprinted down the ramp, hit him with the spear.
Yeah. Or did he hit him with? Was that after he hit him with a couple Superman punches?
Yeah, that was up on the top of the ramp.
Oh,
That
okay.
was a little less.
I wasn't sure if he was groggily making his way down.
Oh, he
and
might have
then
been. He
That's
might have
when he
been
hit the
doing that.
running spear.
Yeah. But so they're both down. Reigns gets up around 8, and this is where the ref forgets how to count.
Well, he stopped counting.
Yeah.
When Joe attacked him.
Yeah, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So this is the referee being extra stupid. So Reigns goes to the side where the seats are, and then he gets attacked by Joe. He put him in the coquina clutch. So he knocks Reigns down, and for some reason, instead of continuing to count like he was supposed to, the ref restarted the count. And then Strowman got up at like 9.
9. He just jumped right up.
Yeah, and then that's when Braun won. It was horrible.
Yeah,
Like,
the ending
way
was
they did
bad,
it,
but
yeah.
it was a fun match.
Mhm.
It's nice to see these on Raw.
Okay, but what if it was Lesnar instead of Joe?
Well, I mean, obviously the ending would have had to been different, but I don't know how I would have booked it. I just made the idea because it would have been more of an impact than him beating up a bunch of mid-carders.
It's true, but
That
like
was
I said, like I
because there's
said,
not been too much interaction with the 4 of them.
But that's like I said. I think that they're doing it intentionally. I think there's he doesn't need to show his dominance, so Heyman's not letting him near the other 3.
No, I understand it. I'm just saying.
This is the old school not wanting to give away the money before the actual pay-per-view.
Fair enough.
So,
But yeah.
although that's a nonsense thing.
Yeah,
anyway.
that one doesn't really work anymore.
But yeah.
So this was our Raw review.
If you liked what you saw here, please like, share, and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.